let's move on to the final game, game number 5, between the Outlaws versus and the Shock.
Ready for battle.
Now, as far as I remember, the Outlaws run something quite weird. It's a bunker, which I guess works on this point. But it had a Doomfist. We'll see.
4, 3, 2.
Yep, we have a Linkser Doomfist.
Round 1.
Linkser Doomfist, triple DPS, Linkser Doomfist, Dante Sombra, and Jake Farah. Everything about this is standard except for the Doomfist. I guess the reason why they want it is number 1, you can CC someone into the well. Number 2, it kinda is like the Nepal point on Village, except a little bit wider. If the Shock do choose to engage in close quarters, like inside this building or inside the cage, this is I think this is what they call cage. Anyway, bottom line, either of two buildings, you get a free punch as Linkser. Shock are opening up with a very strange composition. They don't really have a main tank. Super is right now on a hog. I guess the reason behind this is because the SF Shock are expecting the Outlaws to go for a triple or quadruple DPS, and therefore a hog is going to be able to one-shot kill a 200 HP target every single time, especially in this level. The reason why I don't really agree with it is because you don't have a main tank. Like, your guys are just gonna take so much spam. And there's no real, like, you don't really have a body that just wants to go forward at them. Especially if, say, Super goes low and he gets hacked. I don't know. This is just weird from the SF Shock. So, and before Monty is able to argue, is like, oh my god, triple DPS is really good for the Outlaws. And, well, it helps that the SF Shock are playing something very weird. I would have agreed to this if, say, oh, that's a really nice pick off on Moth. I would have agreed to the Hog if it was someone else, like, say, Cho Hyobin or Sinatra, or maybe even Rascal. Well, maybe not Rascal because you still need that. Still need that healing. So what would you run instead? I think Winston. Winston is fine. The only person that you can jump at is Muma, but that's fine. That's okay. I don't think Ryan is a very good choice. I think you could also go for a friggin' bunker yourself, actually. Now that I actually think about it. Just go bunker. Have Sinatra or Chohyubin go for a hog, and then keep either a Diva or a Graviton Surge for you. A Diva or a Zarya. I lost the name of the hero for a second there, but yeah. Well, this is a one fight, I think. There's no way that they win this Shock. They need to switch. They need to wipe and switch. This is a waste of time. They're staggering themselves. Rascal gets a pick off on... They get 2 pick-offs, but this isn't going to be enough. They need to wipe. They need to wipe right now. Hopefully Super switches. There we go. Would have wanted the bunker. I don't think... This is okay, but I don't think he accomplishes as much as another bunker. We'll see. Now they're through. They have a Moira as well. For the SF Shock. Folks are being used. Muma goes for the bongos because he senses that the SF Shock are gonna go in. Super tries to go on Muma, but there's a punch from Linkser. He gets picked off. The Outlaws commit 2 ults. The SF Shock commit nothing. But then again, the SF Shock have no ults. because they just switched from a bunch of their heroes. So yeah, this is gonna be rough. This is easily another maybe even 40% for the Outlaws. I don't think the Shock are going to be able to do this without having to build their ultimates and give up a lot of percentage. Just an EMP and Doomfist ult. Dante is a little bit trapped. Engagement is happening. Blitzer goes for a punch. Chohyubin is half. He needs to get the bomb. Nice boop. Chohyubin uses the mech. This is fine. You're still forcing out quite a bit of their base ultimates from the SF Shock. Well, actually, you didn't really force out that many. This is fine if you're the Outlaws, rather. Because I think they switch. They switch out of this composition. Or maybe they don't. They just have Muma on Winston. Maul is a little bit harder to run at this point with any consistency. So I agree with this. They still have EMP, so you're probably looking. If you're Violet, you should have actually just aggressively used your Coalescence and try to get a pick off. Usually on Jake or the Pharah or the Mercy. So yeah, they're kind of split, by the way. SF Shock. I guess this makes it a little bit more difficult for the Outlaws to get an actual pickoff, but I don't know, man. Or to get an EMP. Yeah, this is a bit dangerous. EMP goes out, only hacks Chohyubin. They focus it down anyway. The Coalescence goes out, but there's already a beat. And this is already too late for the SF Shock. I think they should have. But then again, the problem with that initiating with a Coalescence is that they had EMP. Outlaws had EMP. So that means that if they use Coalescence aggressively before the EMP goes out, the EMP just cancels the Coalescence, and that basically means that the Shock no longer has an offensive into the Outlaws. So yeah, that was pretty clean from the Outlaws. Mostly because they put... Well, the SF Shock put themselves in an unwinnable position by going with a Roadhog and then staggering their own kills. Like, they tried to turn that very first fight around by getting those 2 pickoffs, but it was already too late, in my opinion. So they lost that because, well, SF Shock just decided poorly on the strategy to use, the composition to use. Again, the idea was nice, but the execution for that was really tough for the SF Shock. Whereas for the Outlaws, you just needed to spam them, build EMP, maybe get a pick off, then win after that one. Still would have wanted a Tracer instead. So now it's another mirror, except, well, it is a Somber Ghost versus a normal goat. Interesting that... Oops, that's why it was really quick. Interesting that the SF Shock do not choose to control high ground, and instead just go inside this cubby. I think they were trying to bait the Outlaws just in case that it was a DPS. They don't want to commit outside into the open, so by going inside here, they don't take any spam from the Pharah. They still have time to safely switch into a Moira dive composition with a Sombra and a Tracer. So after they confirmed that that's not the case, it's just goats with likely a Sombra with them, Go from the low ground. Violet is almost dead. Oh, Violet is already on. Violet is already on Moira. I didn't even notice. I think this is just a very easy win for the Outlaws because yeah, Violet's Violet's ult can be EMP'd, and then after that, Coalescence doesn't really do much, especially if Raucus on Ana can go for a nade.
The objective is now
Super's half, he's dead. How did that happen? Good grief. Oop. Just a smidge too early. Okay, so Violet is low. They put the armor, I think, on Super? Super tries to go for them. I'm not sure why. The play here is to rotate towards the point. I'm not sure why Super is trying to contest them on the high ground. Like, he's only hurt. Like, with every hammer swing, he's just hurting this wall's feelings. Maybe the windows as well. Yeah, that was weird. That's very strange from Super. Rascal tries to save his tank, feeds one away, and this is an overfight. I mean, SF Shock, you're making so many mistakes right now. And again, that's my assessment, my initial assessment from watching this live. Like, it wasn't so much. It's also like the Outlaws actually improving themselves, but like it doesn't help that the SF Shock is just really doing a lot of stupid things. Like, for example, I don't get why Violet is still on this Moira. I also don't get why they let them capture that, but I guess they were waiting for the EMP. For a prime opportunity to EMP. Let's watch that again. Dante already has the EMP. We can go slightly further back. Okay. Dante does not have the EMP just yet. So he was not yet confident. It was a bit risky for him to just jump in and hope that he gets the extra 2%. The team that I coach, their Sombra, or our Sombra rather, has that conundrum from time to time as well. And yeah. It's very real. EMP goes out. Like, the coalescence that Violet is saving doesn't really even help him. Because he gets EMP. I don't get why Violet still stays. I don't think Moira gets any value against this composition. I think he should just drop the ult and switch. They're committing to this too much. I think because of that they're going to give up a little bit more than they want to. Like, I think they're going to give up 50% before they win this. Yeah, he can focus down Dante, but Dante just teleports out. Oh, nice pickup for that one. Okay, let's see that again. How did he die? But again, like the fight after that, good grief. Imagine if they had a Transcendence instead. Just saying. What the hell? Why can't I reverse this much further? Okay, this should be fine. Let's go low and slow. So Violet is currently focusing down Dante on the point. Boink is getting... he's taking damage from the orb. The orb goes back, and there's nothing to eat it because there's no Diva. Nice block from Muma. And then there's also the Nano Boost. He gets moved away, but like, it's not a very far distance. Muma also had the Fire Strike, so these guys are super dead. So yeah, it's really unfortunate that Boink got picked off, but again, like, if they had Transcendence instead, I think that would have been cleaner. Like, engage with Transcendence, because again, if you're fighting against a Sombra composition, and you have a... what do you call this? You have a Zen, The idea of your Transcendence is not so much to save it for the EMP, but rather to save it, to use it before the EMP even lands. Because again, if it's a Sombra, they don't really have that much frontline. They don't have something that can peel for them effectively whenever your Transcendence already procced and you're already engaging into them, into the Outlaws line. So, yeah, I think they lose this. I think they just get 10% and they get nothing more. I already forgot the results, the exact results for this map. So they kite the rally, I think. Yeah, they kite the rally. Point gets picked off. Linkser is about to get picked off. He should be. There we go. Over fight for the Outlaws. They can maybe stall. Like that. Okay, so they're getting, like, the Shock are going to get a little bit more percentage, but I don't think they succeed much more. They're probably going to get maybe another 40%, and that is basically it. Chohyobin needs to hide. So the play for the Shock is to avoid the EMP, or at least for Chohyobin to avoid the EMP, and for Moth to avoid the EMP. And then, if the EMP does go out, Chohyobin needs to go for a bomb, or Moth goes for a sound barrier. Like, that's the play. Because this combination is definitely coming out. Like, the SF Shock know that it's coming. Dante is just looking for Moth, because he knows that Moth is the only person who can probably save him. Maybe Chohyobin. So he needs to hack at least one of the SF, one of the two. Like, it's either Chohyobin gets hacked or Moth gets EMP'd as well before the fight starts. Also, you need to have super there as well in the EMP so that you can shatter. But they are SF Shock are playing very split, so their shatter might not get value. Depends. We'll see. Fight is already breaking out. Armor pack is already used, so Muma needs to make something out of that. But they're waiting for Dante. Okay, armor pack is still in effect, so that's fine. Chohyobin goes for the bomb really early. Doesn't get anything out of it. They're really okay. The Outlaws are really forcing the SF Shock to use their what do you call this? Their sound barrier by committing this many ults. Because again, the Outlaws also understand that if they win this fight, they just win the game. If Moth goes for the sound barrier right now, Dante will just EMP it away. The only thing to dissuade him is the fact that he's half health. So he might not commit. Like, Moth is still hiding here. It's really funny. EMP goes out. Moth goes for the sound barrier, but it's too late. The Shock just took so much damage in the fight before the by committing everything basically. By committing almost every single ult they had. And yeah, it was almost just 40% for the Shock. Additional 40%. That's all they were gonna get by staying on this Moira. And I think it was that. I think it was basically that, and Super just inting at that wall earlier. So yeah, this series is marred with SF Shock just doing really bad things and making poor decisions, while the Outlaws showing how much they have improved from their stage 2 with their Somber Goats. So anyway, I hope you like this VOD review. If you like more, leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, where I do these things live. You are free to ask questions whenever you do. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break. When we come back, I'm gonna play some Overwatch. But for now, this VOD review is over. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.